Right everyone, so today I'm going to show you how we expect you to set out Unit 1 work. Okay, so first of all we're going to go into the PowerPoint that will be made available for you on the shared drive, and if you look, you have a checklist for everything that you need to cover for Unit 1. Okay, so this area here up to here are all the tasks that need to be done. The range are all the bold words you can see throughout the checklist, and it's telling you exactly what you need to have mentioned for those criterias. Okay, so today's tutorial is going to be based on this area here. Okay, so we're going to look at 1.1 of your task. 1.1 says to describe safe and hygienic working practices to prepare self for cooking. Okay, so what that means is, if we look here, 1.1, if you want to achieve a pass, this is the criteria you need to have. If you want to achieve a merit, that's the criteria, and a distinction, that is the criteria. Okay, so I have done a little breakdown on here based on what I've seen on the things that you should aim to mention on how to prepare yourself, not the actual kitchen, not your environment around you, but this is purely about the person in the room and how they should be ready for the lesson. Okay, so as you can see, I've mentioned, for example, washing your hands. You could make up to 4 different points, if not more, about washing your hands. You need to relate most of these points to bacteria and how that can affect. Mention what type of bacteria and how it can affect us hygienically as well. What you should wear in a food room, so for example, you should be wearing an apron or covered clothing. You should wear non-slip shoes. There's many other points you can mention there. What not to wear, for example, not to wear jewellery as it can fall into food, not to wear any high heels or slippy shoes, not to wear sleeves that are baggy. I've mentioned illnesses, so if you are poorly, you shouldn't be in the food room. You should not be there for a matter of a certain time frame, so there's a certain amount of hours that you should not go back if you've had some sort of virus. So you need to research how illness can affect your personal hygiene in the kitchen. Hair, I've mentioned. So you have long hair, you should tie your hair back. Why that's important? For each step, you should also always mention why that is important. So for example, you must wear a hairnet. Why is that important? How is that secure? Cuts and plasters, if you've got a cut, should you leave it uncovered? Should you cover it? Why should you colour it? What colour plaster should you wear? Why should you wear that colour plaster? Although I've written there's 1 point to be mentioned, that does not mean it's a brief point. You can actually make up, for each point over here, you can make up a slide's worth of information, and I'll show you some examples. Nails, should you be wearing nail varnish? Should your nails be trimmed short and be absolutely clean? Burns, should you protect yourself from burns? Use oven gloves if need be. If you do, in that case, burn yourself, should you have burn gel to protect you? So that's just a few points there. There are a lot more. If you want, you can have a look at the example on the website of the course. So if you go onto Google and you type in NCFE Food and Cookery Level 2, and then when it comes up, it's the first one. You click that, you scroll down, and where it says support material, if you click that, go down, and where it says sample portfolio unit 1, if you open that up and you scroll down the document, have a read through if you want, here's task 1.1, just that one criteria from this PowerPoint that we had here, 1.1, just that one there. This is an example that the board who run the course have set just for task 1.1. So this is just one slide on washing your hands. This is just one slide on what you not to do in a cooking environment. Don't smoke, don't wear dirty clothes, don't wear dirty shoes, don't wear nail varnish, don't work in the kitchen or cook food if you're ill. They've written the bacteria, they've mentioned how many hours. It needs to be detailed. It doesn't have to be as a table, you can set it out however you want. It doesn't have to be in PowerPoint, but this is just a bit of an idea. This is still 1.1 over here. You're still looking at 1.1. It's quite long, it's quite detailed. Scroll further down, more information about plasters and cuts. And that was everything that they've put in, and you can put more in if you want, for just 1.1, the task. And this person had achieved a merit for that work because it was detailed, it covered everything, it related it to bacteria. Okay, and that's what you should be aiming for. Okay, so if you were to set yours out, I would expect to see detail. I don't expect it to be exactly the same. As I've said, copying and pasting and plagiarizing is not going to work. Everything has to be in your own words. These are just examples. Okay, you need to satisfy the criteria for 1.1. Describe safe and hygienic working practices to prepare yourself for cooking. Okay, and that is all really you need to know to be able to satisfy that criteria. On this slide is everything you need to mention, and you can pause the video to find this information. Thank you.